comments, we can go straight to questions.
Cool. We'll get started wherever you would like.
Go fire away.
What would be the good and the bad that you've seen through 2 games?
Yeah, I mean, I think the good, just guys playing with great effort, great physicality, great energy. Tackling's been pretty good, especially by our first unit. 9 missed tackles the first game. And I thought early on in the App State game that they tackled well. So really pleased from that, but obviously room for improvement. Just continue to harp on eye discipline, gap integrity, just playing with great fundamentals and great communication out back. For the most part, pretty pleased with how we've communicated and adjusted out back, but always room for improvement there as well.
One sack through 2 games. Are you concerned about the defensive line getting pressure, or is there pressure? They're just getting rid of the ball quick. How would you kind of describe that?
I think it's more them get rid of the football. I mean, I know the App State game, like catch the throw on 3rd downs was like 2.1 seconds, and that's well below what you really need to get a good pass rush there. Usually 2.7 to 2.8 seconds. If the quarterback's holding the football, that's what you're usually aiming for. So, credit to them. They weren't going to let us tee off on their quarterback. They got a season to play in and of itself. So, everything was catch and throw for them. But, I think we can do some things out back, coverage-wise, disguises, so forth and so on, to try to make quarterbacks hold the football. So that kind of goes back to your first question, just always harping on, pre-snap disguises, making everything look the same, or the same things look different things look the same, so forth and so on. So that's another area of improvement as well.
You've been seeing a lot of that, though, the last 2 years, haven't you, Wes, where teams are just getting it out quick and just trying to let their playmakers make plays so that I can worry about it?
Yeah, for sure. Studying other teams, they struggle with that as well. If you look at who's leading the country in sacks, the guys with the really good fronts, the ball's coming out so quick with them. But, it puts a premium on your coverage as well. Like I said, trying to do different things to make the quarterback hold the football, or knowing that if the ball's coming out so quick, we can do a better job mirroring the hand, batted balls up front, that sort of thing as well.
The one who's able to get that sack, Stephon Green, just what have you seen from him in his development so far? Yeah,
just a young man who's completely bought into the program. Credit, to him. Just he shows up every day with the right mindset. Has continued to improve since we started back training camp. He's really grown. It's become really dependable inside. Obviously, his talent speaks for itself, but just a young man that we can depend on to do his job, win his gap, and obviously brings some pass rush ability as well. And he's completely bought into what we're doing.
Yes, what has Jake Lucas added back to the defense now that he's finally healthy?
Yeah, I mean, I think he brings obviously length at that position, tremendous ball skills. I think he plays the ball really well in the air. Tackles well for a corner. I'm happy to see him healthy, and his best football is definitely ahead. Continuing to grow up and just mature as a guy that we can count on, and has all the ability in the world, and just really cool to see him be available.
What have you seen defenses are doing with Concepcion that have limited his playmaking ability? He's only averaging 9 yards a catch, where last year he was like 15, 16 yards a catch. Yeah, I mean,
everybody knows he's the guy, and trying to be physical and getting their hands on him and disrupt his time and not give him clean releases at the line of scrimmage. And then once he's in his stem, getting hands on, being disruptive, and just whether that throws his timing off or the quarterback's, it just throws the whole operation off. but teams have definitely been physical with him and getting hands-on.
How big is it going to be for you guys to maintain inside leverage? And this last year, he got you on that, and obviously it was that big play at the end of the game there.
Yeah, I mean, the game last year came down to really those two big plays. The 50-yard run. I think we gave up 62 yards, 62 or 64 yards rushing against them, and 51 was on that one play. And then obviously they caught the slant route. So our technique's got to be better. I could help him better call-wise in that situation, but he's the key to their offense.
You got a long look at Sammy Brown and D. Creighton against App. Just curious for what you saw and sort of your assessment of where they are right now.
Yeah, I think those are two guys that I can trust to put in the game. It wasn't perfect by any means, but a great opportunity to get them game experience. They played a lot defensively. I can't remember off the top of my head snap-wise, but tremendous opportunity for them to really get that exposure in a game environment against an App State team that has traditionally been a powerhouse at the G5 level, and they're only going to get better and better from there. The game's going to continue to slow down for them, and just really good game experience, but really happy with their development, and they've had a great 2 weeks of practice, really in tune to the game plan and really knowledgeable of what we're doing defensively. So I'm excited to see them take the next step as we go forward.
Obviously, you got a deep defensive tackle room. What does Big Burley bring to the table for you when you put him in?
Yeah, I mean, he's a monster. He's a people mover, really massive guy in there, but he's athletic, basketball player in high school, so he's got really good feet. And, just kind of same thing with Stefan, just really want to see him take the next step. He's very knowledgeable at the position, and sky's the limit for him, but he's a massive guy with really good feet and really good hands. And, I think going forward, he's only going to get better and better, and people are going to really recognize his ability inside.
Is there an optimum weight for him? Is he at his ideal sort of body composition wise?
I can't, to be honest, I can't tell you what he's at right now off the top of my head, but I don't think conditioning wise is an issue with him at all.
Going back to the Georgia game, just looking at the film, what do you feel like went most wrong for the defense in that one?
Yeah, Georgia's offense, they do a great job of giving you pre-snap motions, shifts, making you communicate and adjust, and all it takes is putting your eyes in the wrong spot one time, or you don't get bumped over 1.5 yards, and now I'm out leveraged. So a combination of bad pre-snap alignments, bad eyes, that sort of thing. But they do such a good job. They know what gives defenses issues, and so they give you all the problems and stuff.
I think Avion Terrell was credited with 4 pass breakups against App State. What makes him so effective in coverage?
Yeah, he's a highly competitive kid, but he's got great feet, and just a really competitive kid. Got great short area quickness, and really good ball skill. So I think the combination of those three puts him in great position to play balls at the top end of the route.
Seems like he's a very willing tackler too.
Yeah, for sure. He's a physical, hard-nosed kid.
Is that rare when you have somebody who's not a big dude who was interested in being that type of presence?
I think that comes from just who he is as a young man. Obviously, his brother was a great tackler as a corner, and just his upbringing from his family, just a tough, hard-nosed kid.
Any questions for Coach Goodwin virtually? Anybody else in the room?
With the loss of Kobe McLeod for the season, how does that kind of make Barrett Carter away with us kind of more important to the team with the lack of depth? Not lack of depth, but lack of experience from the younger players. I mean,
obviously everybody's valuable to the roster and stuff, but You know, they're obviously the starters right now, but I think it's a great opportunity for other guys, you know, to earn that experience and earn that playing time. And now is their time. You know, unfortunately, injuries happen. You know, Kobe was such a dependable young man, and in my room could play multiple positions, and you just felt comfortable if he had to go in the game. But now it's time for D and Sammy and Jamal and those guys just to embrace that role, prepare like it's their time, because you never know, you're one injury away from being the starter. So, and the past 2 weeks, you know, you see kind of that maturity starting to happen, you know, how they prepare, their study habits, taking notes, and that sort of thing. So I'm really excited about them getting to embrace this opportunity.
For you as a coordinator, what's it like to have so many other coaches able to help, like in game and in practice now? And do you feel like you're more freed up to do things that maybe you couldn't before, couldn't do as much in those settings?
I mean, practice-wise, I don't think really it affected me from I mean, I still coach the linebackers. Sure, it's good to have Boulware and Whammy and those guys being able to help coach as well, but I still run my drills and so forth and so on from that standpoint. It helps us better with scout teams, you know, organization from that standpoint, and then also having more eyes coaching our guys in the moment versus having to wait till film review. So now you're getting that correction in real time and being able to coach, have more hands-on coaching from that standpoint.
I know he's just an intern, but what has Boulware's voice been like, I guess, on the practice field and in meetings?
Yeah, I mean, he obviously was an unbelievable player here for a long time, but just bringing that knowledge and, you know, I get pulled in so many directions being the coordinator, game plan, and that sort of deal. So now he can take moments with the linebacker group and, you know, really pour into them. Hey, you know, study this formation, study this backfield set, or this means this. So just being able to help facilitate things from that standpoint, and then also being able to help coach and you know, especially during training camp when you got so many bodies out there, being able to separate off and have 2 drills going at the same time.
I think Shelton Lewis played a little nickel against App State as well. How has he kind of been able to be versatile to play on the outside and play at nickel, and his versatility for you guys so far? Yeah,
you know, just his football understanding gives him that ability, you know, his ability to learn 2 positions, and then his skill set also, you know, the nickel in today's world, more of a cover guy at times, you know, with as much man coverage and bracket coverage that we play and stuff. So just that skill set, and then his physicality as well, being able to blitz off the slot, so forth and so on. So just his football savviness and knowledge gives him that ability.
I guess when you watch NC State, C.J. Bailey, does anything stand out about him as a quarterback?
Yeah, you know, I think he came in when he came into the game, I thought he breathed life into their offense. So you could tell that those guys believe in him and his ability. So obviously he got a limited number of snaps, you know, to check him out. But I thought the team rallied around him and responded to his leadership, and you could see him get more comfortable as the game went along. And you know, you could kind of tell from that standpoint. But obviously got length, has good arm talent, can extend plays with his legs. So we got to be disciplined up front in our rush lanes, and I'm sure they'll have some quarterback run game built in for him as well.
What'd you do on your off week? Just watch football, or like on Saturday specifically without a game?
I went to Hobby Lobby in the morning and bought a bunch of Disney stuff for my daughters, and other than that, just watch football. So decorated their rooms. So girl dad problems.
It's I think right now 6.2, 6.3 yards per play, and a lot of that's out on the perimeter. Some of it's setting the edge, some of it's missed tackles. How do you see that, and how do you get that? Obviously, you're not really giving up anything, you know, in the middle.
Yeah, for sure. You know, you practice your problem plays every week, and try to get better from an individual standpoint, technique-wise, you know, in a group / team setting. And but yeah, you know, I think you just go back to work this week you know, obviously early on, you know, the statistics maybe, I mean, that's who we are because that's what we put on film or whatever. But just go back to work this week and we'll get it fixed. And it's a long season. I think we'll end up where we need to be going forward. But it's a challenge right now because that's who we are the first 2 weeks. The threes, they're the Clemson defense. They're not the threes or so forth and so on. So the standard's the standard. But we'll get those issues worked out and starting on Saturday.
Is there a metric you like to be at? Like we want to give up just this yards per play, this per rush?
I think usually you kind of look at the previous year, kind of the top 10 to 15 defenses, and sometimes it's relative to who they're playing schedule-wise. But from a pass standpoint, about 5.0 on average will put you in the top 10 typically. And from a rush standpoint, anywhere from like 2.9 to 3.3 on average. So anything like 4.0 a play to 4.5 a play, typically. So whatever CFB stats are, you can take the average of that over the past 10 years or whatever.
Anybody else for Coach Goodwin? All right, appreciate you, Coach. Thank you.
All right. Appreciate